Hello everyone, today I'm showing you a concrete farmer that gets you 212,000 concrete per hour. So to power this thing, we're using two of Ilmango's 108,000 per hour concrete deepers. This works for sand, gravel and concrete powder obviously, not for anvils or dragon eggs. It's, as I said, Ilmango's design. I will link it in the description. And as you see, you also need two end portals for this, so you will need to do some chunk loading. So I do not recommend to build this unless you know what you're doing. So let's go to the end part where the real stuff happens. Actually, before we go in the end on the creative server, I want to show you our overworld part on our survival server, because we already built everything. So you see here's one of our dupers, but we are actually having some problems. The chunk loading doesn't work properly. So, as you see here, we have the chunk loading with items and everything all around here, and this doesn't work, so it's cluttered hoppers everywhere pretty much. And it still doesn't work. We should be far enough, because this needs to be entered processing in the middle, and you need two chunks out, one and two. We even extended it to be three chunks out, and we have that on all sides. It still doesn't work. It all turns into white, and sometimes it just stops working. Yeah. So this is our overall part. It turns to white even if it's another color, and it just doesn't work like it's supposed to. And this happens on both of our portals. So here's one of them. And here's our other portal. So as you see, they both have a lot of white on them, but this one actually has some light blue on it. So I don't know why this is, but for some reason it just keeps changing to white color. I'm guessing it just loses its ID or something. It's let's F3 and H, yeah. You see the hashtag 0252/0. The 0 at the end is the color code of it. So if we took this color, oh, I fell. If we took that color, you can see it has a 3 after it, which means it's light blue then. So I'm guessing it loses that ID when the chunks are unloaded or something, but that doesn't really make any sense because this is all loaded and it does come through, just changes color. So if anyone is really good at chunk loading, or at least know how it works and think they can solve this for us, please write in the comments. Actually, we're also looking for more people onto the server. It's more of a technical server than just a normal survival server, and it is in 1.12. So if you want to join, just type in the comments and we'll talk about it. So, and yeah, in the end part, it's all the exact same, so you're gonna see that on the creative world right now. So here you see all the concrete coming in. It's just, right now it's falling straight down into the void down there. But you also see here is a, let's enable this. The hitbox here is a end crystal. Can remove these and I can show you a bit better. It's an end crystal, and this end crystal is here because, as you saw, I never destroyed the middle obsidian block here, and it isn't there. I can fly through, and this is falling through, as you see. The end crystal stops the obsidian from regenerating when a player comes through. So blocks that come through just fall down, except the eggs they land on the side, as you see. It plopped with a trajectory to that side there. So the eggs you won't have here, because if you have eggs in the boats on the overworld. So all the concrete is falling through this hole that will always be here. And right now, this stuff you see here, I stole from Ilmango's video about his concrete generator he made a while ago. This is just to keep the same rhythm on this going, and also here we lock it to stop it when we want to. And here I lock this also so we can enable it on the correct timings. So what this does, it just divide the concrete. The, what is it, 12 times 2, 24? The 24 concrete blocks that come in per every 4 game ticks, I think it is. It divides them into one row here and one row here. So we divide them first here. So 12 goes here and 12 goes there. And here we also divide them 12 here and 12 there. And then same thing over here, 12 here and 12 there. So there's 12, 12, 12, 12. And the 12, they go up here. 6 of them become concrete blocks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yeah, they get pushed along and pushed up and pushed to the side here and into the blast chamber. And the 6 that are left after this gets pushed by the slime block here. It's pushed against this glass block, and they're also actually they're a bit to the south here. So you need to push them with a normal piston. Just push them so they're aligned again in the middle of the block so they can get up here. So they land down here, gets pushed by the slime block, glides along, gets pushed up here just like the other side. And that happens on every side here. Exact same thing as you see here. This part is just the item elevator, because as you see here, this is the lowest block we can build here. It can't build under here. So we need to make it a bit higher so we can make the item sorter and storage and everything. So it's just a item elevator here and a water stream. So that's what this redstone line is for. Here's we got one zero tick here, a zero tick over here. There's a couple of zero ticks in this that are needed, and also some very perfect timings. Every timing you see in here, you cannot change a single tick. Maybe this you could change like one tick, but I wouldn't do it to not even test it. And here, double piston extenders, they push them up, and as they're being pushed up, they get pushed along here. And yeah, exact same on everything. And here, TNT deepers up here. And here, they land in the water about here-ish. And they also get, they land here-ish. And they get pushed along, and they land here, in the middle of the block over here. So they're landing the pretty much exact middle here, on the same place every time. And they blow up in the middle here, as you see. Middle of this and that. So it blows up the same on every side. And the same thing over here, exact same thing. Yeah, alright, let's turn it on and you can see it in action. So I flick this lever, you see here, this timing starts, and first this extends and starts everything, and then after a while this starts. Just so we blow up all the concrete we might have left over from last time we enabled it. As you see here, the concrete falls down, gets divided over there, one row here. Some of it gets stopped here, you can't see it due to the visual glitches, but it gets stopped here and then pushed along. As you can see, it's up here, gets pushed up. Some of it up there, the rest gets pushed here, glides along, pushed up, pushed in. And I turn off tile drop now, just so it's a bit less laggy, but if I turn it back on, let's see here. True. You can see a lot of concrete is falling every time. Because they're being pushed at the same time as they're being blown up, we get all of the drops. And also, because of this being a bit lower than the concrete, it's not very often we get... actually, yeah, we got it right here, but it's not very often the concrete lands on another concrete block. Yeah, this happens on every side, as you see. You can fly over here, gets up here, gets pushed along, stopped on there and pushed by the piston, pushed along and pushed up here. Same thing over here. And then it all get. I'm gonna disable hitboxes now. It all gets pushed along here, and here's the concrete you saw from my little teaser video a couple of days ago. Gets pushed along in the water stream here, and I just use this to count how much concrete we're getting with carpet mod. Now we're gonna get it into the storage system instead. So, to store everything, you only need one hopper per color, it seems like. From my testing, I haven't done a lot of testing though. But one hopper for color, each color, except the color you want more of, because you need to fill every color spot, and also every deeper spot. So you need 24 concrete powder, and there's only 16 colors. So one color you need 8 of. And our survival server we shows white, but on here it's actually magenta. But I actually forgot about that and have white here, so we get a bit more white that we're not supposed to be getting. But yeah, that's about it. In the description I will leave a download to the Lightmatic file, so you can just, if you're using Lightmatica, you can just get that file and pull it into your game instantly and start building it, or check it out as a Lightmatic. Oh, and I will also leave the world download in case you want to build this in your world and check it out without the Lightmatic file. I'm gonna disable this again now because it's getting a bit laggy. Yeah, that's about it. I think I've showed everything, and here there's some books with information, 5 pages of information, and 212,000 per hour on-off switch. You can turn it off. You can see this stops, and then this continues for a bit because the concrete is continuing for a bit, and also a bit more just in case there's some concrete left over. And also when we turn it on, this part will start before the concrete comes. Turn it on. Everything, yeah, do you see that piston extends and it starts the clock. And a couple of TNT gets primed before it's get pushed in. Yeah. Sometimes if you enable and disable it a lot, there might be some concrete stuck on here, so you might want to be careful with that. But it doesn't happen a lot. As you see, it didn't happen now because I waited a bit. You just gotta be careful with it. Yeah, that's about it. That's everything I have to show about this, and I do not really recommend building this if you don't know a lot about redstone or how things work. So if you're not used to building a lot of redstone, I don't recommend building this, because there's a lot of things that could go wrong. So yeah, thank you for watching, and the world download in the description as I said, and any questions you have, just post them in the comments. I will answer them as much as I can for a while at least. Alright, goodbye. Actually, there's one more thing I want to mention that I forgot about. The green glass you see here, it all needs to be entity processing chunks, so you will need to chunk load all of this. Otherwise, it will you make even crash the server when you go to the end because of all the concrete powder that builds up and isn't getting anywhere. So you really do need this, or have a bot or a player AFK in here while this is running. So that is it. Now I'm done. Goodbye.